name is Safin Aching. Today it's all about healthy living as we focus on dieting, exercise, and cleansing our bodies. That is what we want to teach you today. And it's a show like no other. Why don't you stay with us beginning right now all the way till the end of it, and engage us on social media at Safin_Aching, at Sami Wanjeroge. The hashtag is Good Morning Kenya. We want to hear what you have, the questions that you have for us, and we will make sure that we address some of those issues that will be coming up as a result of this particular show. So this morning, we know that when you're in that journey to lose weight or manage your weight, you're advised to watch what you eat and also involve yourself in a lot of physical activity. If you're exercising, that's fine. If your work involves a lot of movement and a lot of activities, that's fine. But then there is this aspect in between that is also very important, equally significant, that you need a regular system cleanup. We all know that our bodies are self-cleaning, but then there is that time when it needs an extra helping hand, when you just take that break. It's just like a factory. You take that break and you tell all the workers to go home and you clean up all the machines and you do a thorough cleaning. This actually applies on our bodies as well. If you're on that journey to losing weight and managing your weight, you need to also take time in between to cleanse your body every so often. So after how long, when do you start, how do you do it, and what's the frequency? These are questions that are not for me, but for my guest this morning, who is an expert in that particular field. She's a nutritionist, but you will remember her for the segments we've had here on Good Morning Kenya, the lifestyle segment. She has always been an advocate of healthy living. Talking about Coach V, that is how we know her. But Virginia Nyaga is her name. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, New Year greetings for people.
I know, right? Happy New Year.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. It's what a way to start the year.
Indeed.
What a way to start the year on a very healthy note, having healthy conversations. So we are talking about detox today, body detox. But then before we get to cleansing, let's understand why we need it and what causes the toxins to be in our body. So let's start our conversation by defining body toxins. Tell us what they are.
Okay, so toxins are basically we can call them poison. Yeah, but without making it so dramatic, okay? Yes. But they are those substances that our bodies do not actually need to have. Yeah, so there are things that we will be getting from external sources, and some of them actually already exist within us. Yeah, and we'll talk more about this as we go. So toxins are really more, they can be biological, basically from plants and animals, or they can be chemical. These are things that we are always taking in on a daily basis. So yeah, that's what basically toxins are.
Okay, underline the word poisonous. We are not trying to be dramatic, but that is how bad it is, right?
Yes, yes,
that is how bad it is. You do not need such things in your system, in your body. We'll tell you how you can be able to cleanse and remove all those poisonous substances from your system. But then let's begin by, you've touched on internal and external. Why don't you finish up with that? Yeah. Tell us, the sources of these toxins as you give us examples, so that maybe there are things we know and we've heard of, or we experience every day.
Yes.
So what are the sources of toxins?
So I think a lot of us know about the external ones. So things that we ingest. So say, for example, through our food, through the water that we are drinking. So like the food we'll be eating may have things, these petroleum-based herbicides and pesticides and that kind of thing. So those we are ingesting from the outside. The water that we are drinking, given that the water goes through these lead pipes that have existed for who knows how long, for years and years and years. So they have that lead poisoning that could exist with, lead that could poison our bodies as well.
Lead is very bad for the body.
And it's very bad, yes. And more recently, there's been more talk. I'm not going to really dwell on this one though. There's been more talk about really mercury poisoning from vaccines, from the fish that we are eating, from things like that. So those are the ones that we know of that come from the outside in. Yeah. The ones that we don't actually realize is the ones that are inside already. Yeah. Most people don't realize that we actually cause toxins through stress.
Okay.
Yes. no one actually saw that one coming, I'm sure.
Yeah, true. Stress is actually a source of toxins in our body.
It is a source of toxin.
How does that happen?
So what happens is when you're stressed, you release hormones, these stress hormones, like cortisol and adrenaline. Yeah. What happens during this time is your body then goes into one of two states. it's either in fight or flight mode, right? When you're in fight or flight mode, what that does is it basically stops your digestive process, and it stops or suppresses your immune system. So imagine that you're stressed all the time.
Yeah.
And
many people
are.
Anyway.
I mean, with the kind of jobs that we have.
The harsh economic times.
Exactly.
The relationship issues.
Exactly.
True.
So there's some people who are in constant stress. And if you're dealing with this constant stress, like on a daily basis, I mean, even try driving outside and see what happens. You know, like there's road rage everywhere. You know, you have matatus cutting you off, and you have, you know, you name it. There is a lot of stress going on in our lives. So that state of being in high stress all the time is actually not healthy for us. That cortisol, that excess adrenaline in the body suppresses those very necessary functions. And of course, if your digestive process is being suppressed, that means that insulin is also being suppressed. So the function of insulin goes down. And you know what happens after that? Diabetes.
Diabetes comes in. And
right?
we talked about diabetes recently.
Yes.
But then, you know, somebody would say, okay, there are internal factors and external factors. We just have, you know, to be really keen on understanding the sources of toxins. But then at what point would you realize and sort of wake up and realize that, you know, I have high levels of toxins? Are there signs or symptoms or things that can happen to you that you can look out for?
Yes, yes, definitely. There's many signs, starting from, you know, like minimal things to really huge things. Yeah, so the minimal things would be things like you would probably find that if you're having a lot of migraines or headaches, then you probably have a lot of toxins in you. If you're having digestive issues, like you have a lot of gas or bloating, or you have acid reflux, that also can be a telltale sign that you have a lot of toxins in your body. There are many others, you know, so you could feel like
we have the whole day. You can tell us.
Okay, so fatigue, feeling tired, feeling lethargic, like you don't have much energy. If you have any not digestive, reproductive issues like hormonal imbalance and that kind of thing, that's also a sign that you might have a lot of toxins in your body. Let me think, you know, there are many other things that I'm thinking
talk about them as we continue with this conversation.
Yes, but then there's the other end. There's the other end, which I said, which are really terrible, is when we get into the lifestyle diseases. If you are obese, if you have diabetes, if you have cancer, you are probably highly toxic. So those are the kind of things that you want to be looking at to identify whether it is whether you're highly toxic in your body, and whether it is time for you to kind of, as you were saying, the factory needs to shut down, the workers need to go home.
Stop doing anything, and just clean up. Tell all your workers, go home.
It is home time.
It is home time. Just clean up your system. It's too bad. Too much poison in your system.
And that is what we will be. That poison.
Yes, people take some of these conversations for granted,
and very lightly.
Very useful. So when you use a term like poison in capital letters, in bold and underlined, somebody wakes up and says, "Hey, I need to learn how to do this." So that I can be able to be doing it regularly. And you know, they say prevention is better than cure.
Absolutely.
If you do some of these things and make some of these decisions, then you get to save a lot when it comes to lifestyle diseases that you're talking about, diabetes, cancer, and all that. So let's talk about how then do we remove the toxins from our system?
Okay, so there are so many ways that we can remove toxins from our bodies. One of the ways, like we have here, is using fruit juices, vegetable juices. So you could have mostly vegetable, and you can use fruit just to sweeten it, because sometimes just taking vegetable juices can be a bit hectic for our palates, you know. Exactly. Or you could use the sweeter vegetables like beetroot and carrot to sweeten it. Alternatively, you could also use sugarcane juice, which is actually really good for you as well. Other ways, you can use things like turmeric. That's what we have here. You can use turmeric and lemon as a way of detoxifying as well. You can use garlic and ginger. I don't know how many people are really willing to drink garlic, which is something I do pretty much every day. Other ways that you can cleanse your body is actually more external. One of the things that most people don't realize, like I said, with the stress thing, if you're going to detox from stress, how would you do that? One of the ways, take yourself on a retreat. It's just going to be you, yourself, and you.
And yourself. It's a meeting.
Yes, it's a meeting for you and yourself. You know?
It's an AGM. Just call yourself a meeting and say it's me, myself, and I.
Switch everything off. You know, nowadays we have too much technology that is there just distracting us all the time. You have WhatsApp. How many groups are we in? You know, all the time our phones are just going off, right? Yeah. But maybe it's a good time to just switch everything off. No laptop, no work. Maybe take a book with you and read a book. Maybe be, I don't know, beachside. I don't know, you name it. Just do something you love by yourself. Don't even take your husband, your children.
Just go.
Those ones are part of the stress.
It depends. You land in trouble.
Maybe some are, some are not.
We didn't say that.
No, but it's just for you to kind of just have that alone time, to understand. Decompress, to stress. I mean, to remove all the stress. Meditate, prayer. You know, that have quiet time. Yeah,
and music also helps.
Yeah, if you like music, you can do music as well. Yeah, or preferably don't do movies, because that could also create stress depending on what kind of movie you're watching. Yeah. Sometimes some of the reactions you actually get from movies are not things that you realize are actually happening. Like if you're watching a horror movie, there's something that goes on within that you're probably not realizing is happening. As much as we say, oh, I love horrors and all that. Yeah, maybe
you're adding stress to yourself.
You're adding stress to yourself, yes. Other ways you can detoxify is, one of the ways that I do it is I do foot baths. Yeah, so you just put like water in some warm water in a basin or whatever.
That's a nice feeling. I've tried that.
Right?
When you get at home in the evening and you put some nice warm water in a basin and you put your feet in. And just relax. Yeah. Relaxing mood. Yes, anyway, that's actually really one of the places. Your feet are one of the places that has the most nerve endings. Yeah, that's why you even have like specialists who massage your feet. And they can reflexology. Learn about it. You'll understand that actually that the feet has connections to every part of our body. Every part of the body.
Yes, exactly. So one of the things that I actually put into my hot water is Epsom salts. Now Epsom salts are like, I don't know, the next thing since sliced bread. You know, as in they're really sliced bread and detox, they don't really work.
Yeah, because you can't take bread.
Exactly. That would be a different kind of toxic.
Okay.
No, it's not toxic. It's not toxic.
Not to scare.
Anyway, yeah, so Epsom salts, you can even use some essential oils in your water. Those are really good for just releasing the toxins from your feet.
And there are some that have really nice
scents. Yes, exactly. So that also is part of the aromatherapy. See, so that also is part of the detoxification process. So say, for example, for women especially, an essential oil like frankincense is really, really useful because frankincense is really good for like period pain. Yeah, so like say like for cramps, exactly. Yeah, so if like say for example you are going through cramps in that moment, get a little bit of frankincense with a bit of carrier oil like coconut oil and just rub it around your abdominal region. Trust me,
it will work seconds. That's a tip.
As in, that's a tip, yes.
For someone.
Lenga that Panadol and whatever. Just use frankincense, right? At least that one has no side effects. Yeah. The only side effects are good ones. So, yeah, that's another way you can do that. Saunas, another way you can also detoxify. Just go and sit in a sauna and let the moisture from your body just be released through sweating.
Steam baths,
yeah, things like that. But just put maybe better, like good salts in it, yeah, because you can have you know, all these bubble baths and all that. That has a lot of chemicals in it. So that I would say not to use that. Use things like Epsom salt, bicarbonate of soda. Yeah, I know some of us don't even realize that we can use that outside the kitchen. Yeah, you can use such natural salts to help you to detoxify your body. And there's so many other
many things you can do.
Exercise is a way of detoxifying as well. Yes. Yeah.
So just go and sweat it out.
Sweat it out.
And I tell you, this is actually the show to watch because all that is what we packaged for you. Just sweat out all your issues, sweat out all your poisons or toxins, if you like, and make sure that you become a healthier, cleaner and consume the right kind of things.
Yes.
So one would ask, okay, why detox when our body is a self-cleansing machine? There's metabolism, there's sweating that gets rid of toxins. Absolutely, there's a lot of ways we get rid of toxins naturally, God-given. So why do we need to go an extra mile and do all this?
Very good question. Actually, one of the other things that I forgot to mention is water. for detoxifying. Water, definitely 100% do water. So why do we need to go through detoxification when our bodies are natural detoxifiers, right? Well, looking at what we are eating nowadays as a human species, we are eating a lot more processed foods, a lot more things that have too much sugars in them, and basically we are not giving our bodies the right environment to get rid of toxins. So you can imagine, like, you are literally compacting toxins into your body and expecting that factory to keep running with the machines running at 100% all the time without changing the oil, without changing the parts, without changing any of that stuff, and you're expecting that all the machines plus the workers, whether you're not even feeding the workers, so you're expecting everyone to be working at optimum and all the time, and to be doing what it's supposed to be doing at all at every given time, right? But that doesn't work, because obviously if you have all those broken down machines, or machines that are not oiled properly, or the workers are not fed, or they're not even given a chance to rest, eventually things start falling apart. So that's why we need to detoxify.
There's need for that extra hand.
Yes.
In as much as our body is self-cleansing, you need to
give it the right environment.
Support it.
Yes,
once in a while.
Because you know, sometimes our bodies, for a long while, your body will be doing the best it can with what it has, and it will struggle through it all the way through, and then at one point it will just go, okay, now that's enough. As in, you can't keep torturing me like this. Now you're on your own. Now you
start getting sick.
You start getting sick. You start getting all these lifestyle diseases. You start getting obese, and you're not even understanding why it is you can't lose weight. It's because your body just went enough. As in, now you have
do what
to
you want.
Do what you want. I am tired. I can't keep dealing with you. You know. So you have to look for another way of making sure that you cleanse your body.
And people think this is funny. It's not. Your body actually communicates, and at times you just need to learn its language. You learn to listen to your body. You know, there's a time, your body could be telling you something, but you're just ignoring. You're just ignoring. You feel like a bit fatigued. You feel a bit feverish. Your body is telling you something.
And then you take coffee and energy drinks instead of actually doing something about the underlying reason why you're feeling fatigued.
So you don't interrogate. You just say, nioma too. You decide for yourself. A few weeks later, you're down with some serious disease somewhere. You're in a hospital somewhere. Your body was trying actually to tell you something
from the very beginning.
We should learn to listen to some of these things. So today we want to help our viewer understand this simple, basic, homemade detox programs, because yes, everybody wants to do it, but we don't all have time to go to those health spas and resorts and do all those things. So somebody wants something they can do very easily at home. So today that's what we want to do. So talk to us about what you have for us.
Okay, so as you said, not everyone has all the time in the world to go and do all these detox programs, and even some of the products can be very expensive. So what I have here is very basic things. One of them is water. This is warm water. There is nothing else in it, just warm water, and I will prove it to you just in case you think I'm lying.
I can taste it too.
Warm water.
Anyway, I'm just kidding.
You want to taste it. You just want to taste the hot water.
Anything looks like water. You can lie to us that it's water. Okay, fine.
It could be poison. So one of the things that I like to do every morning, before I take anything, even before I consume, even if I'm juicing, the one thing that I do is I will make a detox drink, which usually has just some lemon, a little bit of garlic, and some ginger. Yes, so those three, plus some turmeric, because turmeric is very good. It's a very great anti-inflammatory. In fact, a lot of people who have any kind of issues, any kind of lifestyle disease, turmeric, number one.
It's a must-have.
It's a must-have. I know of many people who have cancer who swear on turmeric. And you can get it either in powder form, or you can get it like a root. It looks a little bit like a ginger, but it's not ginger. It's yellow on the inside. So if you see, ginger is kind of white on the inside, but turmeric is yellow. A very bright yellow.
So this is a daily dose for you?
This is a daily dose for me, and it's very simple. You don't even need this. You just need maybe a fork to just squeeze this out. Me, I'm just kiasi, gisty like that.
You're that organized.
I'm that organized. So we squeeze out a little bit of lemon. Don't worry about the seeds. You can even just put them into your drink. It doesn't matter, because you're not going to be, they're going to settle at the bottom anyway. Then you get a little bit of garlic. I don't know how many people would be willing to do this, having the garlic in this. But then, you know, even when
very good.
Garlic is very good. When you do
even people
like
who complain, I hear that people who complain of tummy issues.
Yes, exactly.
You have a pot belly you're dealing with.
Yeah.
That, you know, garlic can really help you. Sometimes it's just because you're bloating too much.
Yeah, it could be just that. Yeah. So yeah, drinking something with garlic, or even again turmeric, anti-inflammatory, because it could be some inflammation going on in your stomach as well. So if you want, you can either cut this up into small pieces, and then you can do it in like a mortar and pestle and just smash it, or you can just cut it up kidogo like this, just to release the garlic from the nini. Okay. Just like that. And then you get a little bit of ginger. This one I would say peel, because unless you know that your ginger is absolutely 100% clean and organic. Yes. Yeah. Don't forget, I always advocate for organic.
Peel everything if you're not sure whether it's organic or non-organic. Yes. That's Coach V.
Yes. If it is not rule number one.
If you're not sure, peel.
Peel. Yes. Yeah. So we'll just cut this up a little bit. You don't need to do very much to it. That's it. Put it in.
But you get used to the taste of garlic and ginger. The very first days it could be a bit intimidating.
It can, yes. But then you get after a while you get used to it.
You see, your body just listens to what you tell
it. Adjusts. So then you can put in a little bit of turmeric.
So how do you come up with the measurements?
I just take whatever I can handle.
Okay. I thought like the water has to be this much.
No, 1 tablespoon. So I usually do about a teaspoon of turmeric to about 500 ml of water. Yeah, this is not 500. We'll add some more water to that. Okay. Yeah. But again, that's if you're using the powder. If you're using the root, you want to use about that much. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You can have as much turmeric as you want. It won't do anything wrong.
The best thing about this is that you don't have any strict, rigid rules.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to listen to your body and do what you feel is good for you, what works for you. Somebody may like too much garlic, somebody may like less, somebody may like too much ginger. So it depends on what you love.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, even when I started off, I couldn't handle the taste of turmeric. I found like it gets to a point where it's just like, whoa, okay, that's just too much. So, I mean, over time, I had to start small. You know, I started with a little bit of maybe a teaspoon, less than a teaspoon, maybe even a quarter of a teaspoon. And slowly by slowly, you just get used to the flavor. Okay. Garlic, the same thing. Not very many people would be willing to eat garlic. A lot of people are more concerned about bad breath. Yeah. But here's the thing. Would you rather bad breath or a lifestyle disease? Yeah. Choose,
bad
you know?
is okay.
And it's not even that bad. By the way, it actually really cleanses. Another thing you can use also is Moringa. Okay. I think a lot of people have heard a lot lot about Moringa. Yeah. Moringa is really good, especially even for diabetics. We spoke about this a while back, last year. So, so that's basically it. As in, you don't even need to do anything else. You just
the Moringa is optional. You can, you can decide whether you want or not.
Yes, yes, you can do it or not. Actually, with Moringa, what I'd prefer to do is to just take like a teaspoon and just straight into the mouth, and then you use this now to wash it down. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So at least you can get the effects of the Moringa as well.
So the water is warm or hot? Either. Warm.
Well, whatever you can handle. You know, because the thing is, a lot of people like myself, we can't drink hot water because I just get burnt. Okay. So
warm water.
Warm water is good. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So you just let that sit for a while. You'll see even as it sits, the turmeric will actually settle to the bottom as well. Yeah. And every now and then you might want to have a spoon that you can stir it up and it comes up to the surface again. And as I said, I take this all the time. So here is one I had prepared earlier. That's for you now to taste once it has already set.
So you even have the before and after.
I have the before and after. But one of the things, if you don't really like the tanginess of it, you can add a little bit of honey. But maybe just try not to put it in. Yeah. Okay. Try not to put in the honey.
If you can do without it, the better.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So bottoms up. Okay, not bottoms up. Just
you want me to taste a little bit. What about you?
I will have as much as you want me to have. I just want this one to sit so that it can get the ginger and the garlic out. I'm not saying you drink all of it. Just it might be a bit.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
Are you feeling healthy already?
Yes, I'm feeling like my cells are just already
They're already just
scrambling for it. You know,
like,
it's really nice.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I do every morning. It's preferable to have it with warm water. So you can just sip this
as you read your newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
What better way of starting the day instead of having a coffee or tea and adding caffeine into your system, which is also a toxin. But again, okay, caffeine is not necessarily like a toxin. It's just how much you take of it that becomes a toxin. Yeah. So there's a lot of people who take way too much tea. And way too much coffee.
There are people who take coffee in the morning and before they go to bed and during the day somewhere.
Yes, I know of people who even take up to 5, up to 5 cups of coffee. And it's not the instant one. You know, instant is a bit more diluted. Yeah. It's the brewed one, you know, and you're taking 5 cups a day. That, okay, that really one now you've pushed it. You know, that's too much.
That's too much.
So that's one of the ways that you can do that. So we'll just let that sit over there. Now, Safin, it is time for you to go to work.
To stop being a slay queen and just, it's that kitungu, it's that dania. And to help out.
No slay queening over here. It is time to do some work.
What do you want to do?
So what you want to do now,
my hand.
What you want to do now is to make some juice. And we're going to be making one specifically for skin, because I know the ladies, we have been eating a lot of fatty foods and things that are not very good for us through the holidays.
Yes.
And you probably have now pimples that have shown up, right?
Breakouts.
And all that stuff. So maybe it's time to start cleansing your skin. And what we're going to be doing here is one that has some carrot. It has some zucchini. That's what that is. A zucchini looks
almost like a cucumber.
Almost like a cucumber. Yes. So the difference, actually have a cucumber here just to show you the difference. That's a zucchini. That's a cucumber. Zucchini is also called a courgette.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll put in some zucchini as well. So Slay Queen, please get up.
I can't believe you did that.
So we just
what do you want me to do?
Cut the ends off like that. Yeah. So you just cut the ends of the carrots as well. You can put the rubbish in there.
Okay.
And then we're going to use a juicer. Now, I think we all know what the difference between a juicer and a blender
is.
So this is a juicer. It extracts the juice on one side and the pulp on the other side. The blender just mixes everything together.
It becomes like a paste.
It becomes like a paste, exactly.
But then
and you use less produce as well when you use a blender.
Okay.
When you use a juicer, you tend to use a lot more produce.
Okay.
So we put the zucchini in. Just before I even go any further than that, this is dania. Coriander
leaves.
Yeah. One good thing about dania is that it's very good for removing metals from your body. Yeah. So if you have that in your juice, that actually helps in detoxifying that lead, the mercury, that kind of stuff from your body. Yeah. So I'll add in some of this, and I want to put in the leftover ginger. And we have some lemon here as well. So I want to put them all in at the same time because they're not very they don't have a lot of liquid in them. So the lemon will help to kind of clean it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, there's no measurement. You just decide what you love, how much you want it.
Exactly. Yeah. And on top of that, then depending on how much juice you want to make, that's the only measure you're going to have, you know. So we'll put this one through. Carrots.
Okay.
Just half this one.
Okay.
This is one big carrot.
Yeah, true.
So as you can see, the liquid is coming out on this other side. And then surprise, surprise. Ahoho.
Yes.
These things have so much liquid in them, and they are really, really good as well for the skin, for even the blood and cleaning all that stuff out.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. And then for those of us who cannot handle the vegetable juice on its own, you can add like an apple into it, so you can make it a bit sweeter.
A bit sweeter?
Yeah.
You don't use sugar?
Never.
No refined sugar.
Never use
wow.
sugar. By the way, I could have peeled that apple. I should have peeled that apple before I put it in there, but it is gone.
Too late, but remember, if you're doing yours at home,
yes.
If you're not sure whether it's organic or non-organic, always
yes.
peel all fruits.
Yeah. Actually, yes, especially even with apples, because you know apples, they also coat them with wax.
Okay.
So you want to peel that skin off so it doesn't, you don't have the wax in your juice. Could I have the
glasses?
2 glasses?
Okay. Chef.
So I've become chef now.
Now you're a chef.
I'm a chef.
Okay. Feels like we're in the kitchen.
So we'll just mix,
you have to mix it up
a little bit, yeah, because I've just seen they're all different layers.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll just swish it up a bit. And
I know it's going to be sweet, considering the carrots that we used there and the apples. So there has to be
hoho.
And the hoho.
The red hoho is actually going to make it a bit sweet as well.
A bit sweet. So we taste this as it's done.
Yes.
So this is for the skin.
This is for the skin. Yes. So bottoms up. Okay, not bottoms up. Just drink.
Let's just do it.
However much you want.
Okay.
It is fresh.
I know some people are just wanakula kwa macho to somewhere and screaming on my ear. I'll preserve some for you, director. So chill. But it's really nice.
It's cleansing.
Yes. So my question though, if you're doing like this and the other one that you prepared earlier, do you do them on the same day, or can you take them at the same time, or what happens?
You can do it on the same day. Like as I said, there are times when, so there are parts of the month when I'm juicing. Yeah. So I'm either doing 3 days or 14 days at the beginning of the month. Every time I am juicing, I'm also taking the first one, the turmeric and ginger and all that stuff.
Okay.
So you can have them at the same time, or when I'm not juicing, I still have the turmeric and the ginger, just to continuously be detoxifying my body. Yeah. So because every single day you're taking in toxins, even from the air that we are breathing, we are still taking toxins. So why not give your body that chance to actually be able to do what it's supposed to be doing optimally?
Okay, have a seat. The more we consume toxins, the more we should detox and cleanse our body.
Yes.
So it depends even with the kind of environment that you work in. If it's somewhere there's a lot of toxic things just around in the air and all that, you need to detox frequently.
Yes.
Yeah, so wow. I really be sipping both.
It's recommended it's recommended that you do like a major detox maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah. I was going to that part of the conversation where somebody would ask like the frequency. There are people who do it for 2 weeks. Yeah, talk to us about the recommended frequency and how do you start if somebody is watching and they've never done this before? They have no idea.
Okay.
So what's the best way to go about it?
Okay, so first of all, you might want to look at the signs like we had talked about before to show that you have toxins in your body or not, right? That's one of the things that you want to do. Okay, that's like pre, right? That's like
before.
Pre-preparation.
Why don't we start there?
Now,
like some of the things you need to do before you start even, preparing.
Now, the biggest thing you need to do before, once you have realized that you have toxins, is start preparing your mind. Because beyond everything else, you can have all that you need, the juices, all the liquids, whatever it is that you need to detoxify. But if your mind was not ready to go through that detox, you're not going to be successful. So you first start by preparing your mind. Tell yourself that, okay, I'm going to be doing this for X amount of days and it is all good. My body is loving me for this. Whatever it is you need to tell yourself so that your body is ready for the detoxification process. The next thing you want to do is eliminate anything that is toxic. Poisonous.
Yes. Use that.
Poisonous.
Avoid.
So get rid of any canned foods, all these processed foods. So canned food, things in bottles, don't eat any of those things. You want to cut down on alcohol, cut down on things like cigarettes, cut down on medication, so prescription drugs, as well as the other drugs, if you're taking those,
yeah.
you know, cut down on all those things and start eating more high fiber foods. Yeah, because one of the things you want to do while you're juicing is clean out your colon. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you take high fiber foods that will initiate that process of cleaning out the colon, and then you can go into whatever you choose. You can be doing a water fast, you can be doing a juice fast, you can be doing whatever it is you're doing. Yeah,
there's just so many things I want to ask right now, but then you know, there's
one
just
at a
so
time.
much.
One at a time.
Let me go step by step.
Yes.
You talked about alcohol and cigarette and those drugs. There are people who want to detox, but we all know that you cannot be taking those when you're cleaning up your system.
Yes, yes.
But then talk to people who can't do without them. We have addicts that we are talking to this morning, that their daily livelihoods is revolving around smoking and alcohol, and some use some drugs.
Yes.
What, can they still detox, and how do they do it?
Absolutely, you can definitely still detox. I would really recommend that you do more of a juice detox, yeah, because what happens with the juice detox is it's also going to nourish your body. Of all the whatever you've been taking, it's going to clean it out as well as nourish it. Yeah. Eventually, you will probably find that when you're detoxing, you'll actually not be as dependent on alcohol or cigarettes or whatever as you were before.
Maybe.
The craving starts going away. Yeah. I find that even for myself, when okay, I'm not talking about alcohol or smoking.
I was about to wonder, do I know you? But then
no, not that.
Yeah.
Like say for example, if I haven't exercised for say a month, because yes, that happens. I don't exercise every single day sometimes. I've not exercised for a month. When I start juicing or I start doing some cleanse or whatever, for some peculiar reason, my body just tells me, get up, you need to start exercising now. You know, it's like you just feel so nice inside. You just want to
crave for the right kind of things.
Exactly. You want, and when I'm juicing, the last thing that I even if like people are making chips in the house, I don't care. I'm like, yeah, I don't want it. I'm okay. I can just continue doing my juices. You know, so it's one of those things that something happens in the brain, the connection with the detox that even no one can explain, you know. So yes, they can definitely do it. And if you still feel like you need to take your alcohol, okay, try to do it sparingly.
Yeah, you can. But one thing I say about some of these lifestyle decisions, don't wake up and decide, I'm not going to be drinking from today.
Exactly.
Do it gradually.
In fact, it has been found that especially for addicts, if you're going to just stop drinking like that, it can be detrimental to your life.
To your health.
Yeah, it can be, yes, to your life, not even to your health.
To your life.
To your life, it can finish you. So it's actually good to do things gradually. Yeah, do one step at a time.
If it's 5 bottles you take 4.
Take 4.
3,
take
2.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and even if it's with say sugar, the same thing. You don't just wake up one day and decide I'm not taking sugar. Although there's some people who do that. There are people who are those A-type personalities like me, who will just wake up and just go, that's it. I'm not taking any more sugar. But if you're not, start cutting down slowly. You start, if you're doing 3 spoons, maybe cut it down to 2 spoons, like that, until eventually you don't have any sugar in your tea or whatever it is that you're taking.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about medication. You talked about it, and I'm wondering, for somebody who is probably on, the doctor has told them you have to be taking this particular type of medication every day. Maybe they're diabetic or cancer, or whichever condition they're living with. But it's a long time sort of disease, and they have to be constantly on medication.
Yeah.
What do you tell them vis-a-vis, detoxing? Do they still take the medicines, or what happens?
Yes. Initially, I would say still take your medication, because this is not a replacement of your medication. Yeah, still see your doctor. Like, I know of people who are hypertensive who started juicing, and they do not see their doctor. What happens when you're juicing is the body starts rejuvenating and recreating new cells that are that the body was not used to, right? So while you're taking your high blood pressure medication at the same dose that you were taking it at, it ends up being too much. So the next thing you know, you're taking your high blood pressure medication and your blood pressure goes way below, and you find people fainting. So it's recommended that as you're doing the detox, or you're doing the juicing or whatever, still see your doctor, probably even more regularly, because you want to manage and maintain and make sure that whatever it is you're taking in the form of medication is not becoming too strong for your body. Yeah, I would not say get rid of the medicine. Do not.
But then
you
can seek the advice of a professional before you do that.
Yeah.
What about pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, do they still have to, do this? And this I'll follow up with a question. Do we eat our meals as we detox, or what happens?
Okay. So first question about mothers and breastfeeding mothers and pregnant women, do not detox.
Do not.
They are one of the people who are, it is not recommended that you detox while you are pregnant or while you're breastfeeding, because as you're detoxifying, those toxins have to go somewhere. Right? And the body sometimes could eliminate it through your breast milk. And then your baby is taking it from you. Yeah. So you're passing on your toxins to your baby. You know, so you don't want to be doing that. Same thing if you're pregnant.
Better you stay with your toxins. Yeah, who does that?
Stay with your toxins.
Stay with your toxins. If you have to pass it to the baby,
don't pass it on to the baby, because the baby can't detoxify either.
Exactly. Babies cannot also detox.
You can't take your kids, your baby through detox. You know, so you have to. I mean, the only detox it has is your breast milk. You know,
yeah, true,
that is it. Yeah, because they are trying to build up their immune system. So if you're then taking them through detox, first of all, what are you going to give them? They're supposed to be on milk.
Yeah,
you know?
True.
So,
but is there like an age like at least they've grown up that can detox? Not the baby, the infant.
No, I wouldn't say detox for
From
kids.
What age?
I think over 18 is where you would start detoxifying. Because below that, what you can be doing is adding juices to their meals. Yeah, so they can still continue eating, but instead of giving them like sodas and whatnot, those other sweet things, give them some juices. Like vegetable juices like these ones you've just made, yeah? So that also will help to build their immune system, that even the body will be given that chance to actually do whatever it needs to be doing, whether it's the liver or the kidneys, they're working optimally. Yeah.
Okay. So pregnant mothers, breastfeeding mothers,
absolutely
it's a no-no.
not. No.
It's
and then the other question was detoxing when
do you
eating.
Eat your meals?
Yeah.
Or do you just go on juicing for some days without eating anything?
So depending on what the condition the person is in, like say you have no illnesses whatsoever, you're fine, okay, you have a few of the symptoms that we had talked about before, I would recommend that you just cut out eating, no solid foods, and just do juices, or just do water, or just do whatever it is you're using to detox, yeah? For about a minimum of 3 days. Because your body takes about 3 days to get into that cleansing process. Yeah. So do a minimum of 3 days. I would say a maximum of 14 days, although we've done up to 28 days before. Yeah. So depending on what's going on in your body, I would say, you know, you can do just juices or just the detoxifying agent. Yeah. If you are sick, I would say have your juices, but still eat. But what you're eating is still the same stuff, the vegetables, the fruits, the whatever. Yeah, you don't add in anything like the meats, and because that's still part of cleansing. Actually, one of the ways you can cleanse is by eating your vegetables. So you can just have like salads and, you know, anything that has vegetables in it. Yeah, and just have it in large quantities, and that is part of the cleansing process. Yeah.
How do you stay motivated? Because yes, we want, you know, at the beginning of the year, we make all these amazing decisions, and we say we are going to do this, we are going to be saving, we are going to be cutting weight. But somewhere along the line, we start crawling, then we just stop. It becomes so tiresome. We just say, why should I go through all this? I mean, let me live my life. I will die tomorrow anyway. That's what people say as excuse. How do you stay motivated to do the right thing, that thing that you set your mind to do? What are some of the things that you do yourself?
Well, for me,
but I know said, for you as it has become easier.
It's business.
For them that are starting, they can, you know.
So one of the things you can do is, number one, get a coach. Get someone to keep you accountable. Get someone to keep...
Accountability.
Yes, exactly. Get someone who is not going to be your friend, who when you tell them, oh, Leo, let me just have a little bit of chips. No. Get someone who will be like, you committed to doing this, do it. So that's one of the things you can do. The other thing is, as I said before, prepare yourself mentally. This is not an easy journey. I'm not going to lie that it's easy. Even for me now, it's not always easy. It's still like every beginning of the month, I'm like, oh my God, we are here again. I'm going to have to do this thing again, you know. But it's about preparing your mind. So you do
this every month? Like every for 3 days, you do a juice?
A minimum of 3 days. So every quarter month, we do 14 days. And then the months in between, we just do 3 days. Yeah. So if you are... What was I saying?
You need to have an accountability
person. Have an accountability
partner.
Tell
you, no, you're not taking chips.
Exactly. Or the chicken, or whatever it is. So that's number one. Number two, remember at the very beginning, as you're preparing yourself mentally, create a good reason why you're doing this. Why are you doing this? What is your big why? If you have kids, maybe it's because you want to see your kids become adults, have grandchildren and all that stuff. Have your big why at the forefront of your mind.
It will motivate you.
It will motivate you to keep going, yeah? Because a lot of people, you know, you just like, if you're like me, you'll just start one day, wake up and you're like, okay, I'm going to start juicing. I don't even have a why, you know? Yeah. But it's because I know the way I feel after I have gone through a juice fast is just amazing. So that for me is motivation enough. So the other thing is consider like what the side effects are going to be for your body. And when I say side effects, I mean it like in a positive way.
Like if I stay away from caffeine for so long or tea, yes, I believe there's certain things I'll start feeling if I'm used to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. The first 3 days are the most difficult, yeah, because it takes about 72 hours for caffeine to leave your body. So it will take about 72 hours, that is 3 days, for you to experience what hits after that, because you will go through headaches. You could go through headaches because of the caffeine withdrawal. You could go through diarrhea. That could happen because now your body is just purging, it's cleansing out. Yeah, don't feel embarrassed about it. It's a normal human function. Just be glad that it's happening, because if it's happening, it means that your body is cleansing. Yeah. Okay. Other things that you might experience is breakouts on your skin. You might get pimples on your skin, which is, again, don't worry about it. When it's all said and done, you'll have the clearest skin you could ever think of. You know, so it is just for now. That's what's happening for now, and then it will improve over time. It will disappear.
What more? Like urine, do we see changes or anything?
You could, depending on what it is you've been eating before that point. But as I said, remember, you always make sure that you first cut out things that are not good for you, the ones that are toxins, and start adding fiber-full foods, right, and nutritious foods. So I wouldn't say there'll be that much difference if you have been doing that. If you actually took about 3 to 7 days to first eat high fiber foods before you got into a cleanse, it would probably not make much of a difference. But if you just moved from taking 5 cups of coffee to now detoxing, you might see some difference in your urine. At some point, if you're doing more than 3 days, you probably find that you're not even going for number 2s very often, and you're like, okay, there's something wrong.
I like that respectful language. Number 2s. Okay.
Yeah, but it's no big deal.
Yeah. When is it too bad, such that you need, to visit a hospital or a doctor? What signs or symptoms would show that, this detox program is good, but there is something that's happening that you need to get checked?
If you have any of those symptoms going on for very long, especially like diarrhea, if you have diarrhea going on for too long, then that's not a good thing. You might need to actually go and get what are they called? Intravenous IV. You might need to get some electrolytes added to your body, because as you're going through that process,
you're
dehydrating and you're losing your electrolytes, and you're losing a lot of other minerals and nutrients in the same process. So you might need to go and get that through an IV. Yeah. So if you have prolonged periods of having those side effects, then go see a doctor. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody who is asking, how do I be part of that support group? Working as a group can be a bit easier.
Yes.
Talk to us about what is it that you do to get out this information, to make sure that people actually who are interested, in living this kind of life, you walk with them through that journey.
Sure. So you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, not so much on Twitter. Don't look for me there.
You're not a KOT.
No, not that one. Okay. You can look for me on YouTube. I'm always posting stuff on there to show you how you can be, improving on what you're doing. And we even have like weight loss programs that we run every few months, so you can be a part of that as well. You can get all this information. Look for Virginia Nyaga or Coach V on the social media, and you can get all this kind of information from there. Yeah.
Okay, as we're just about to bring this to a close, but then there are these, general concerns that come that, in case somebody is, probably in a certain sort of diet, like a vegetarian or that, do they still use this?
Yeah, I'm vegan. So this is it. This is my life.
You told me this is what you live on.
This is what I live on.
Okay,
Yeah. This is actually a really good way of getting very high concentration of nutrients into your body. So even if you're just eating normally and you're drinking your juices at the same time, maybe take the juice a little bit before, like maybe 30 minutes before you eat, so you can get that huge punch of nutrients into your body at the beginning, and then you can eat just your normal meals. If you have any other special diets, then yeah, it doesn't really affect
it doesn't harm anything that's going on in your body.
Especially not juices.
What's the significance of consuming vegetables in their rawest form?
The nutrients. So what happens when you cook vegetables is that some of the vitamins and the minerals in the so the micronutrients in the vegetables, not fruits, the vegetables, they tend to get destroyed by heat. Yeah. So when you're having them raw, you're getting them at their highest state. And obviously it depends also on if it's organic produce. Remember, I'm always advocating for the organic produce. If it's organic, and then how long it has been off the farm. Because as the longer it is off the farm, it loses its nutrients as well. But still, in the rawest form, that's the best way to have the vegetables. Not saying that it's the only way. You can also cook them. You can also cook, but also check. Yes. Check how you're cooking them, so you're not overcooking them, that you end up with, you know, like this, sometimes you cook skooma until it's black. Yeah.
That's what people do anyway.
That is
coming to think of it, is mboga ya kienyeji
juiceable?
No. Does it have any nutritional values?
Absolutely.
It's boiled and
don't boil it.
No, you know the type that I'm talking about.
Yes,
the one that can stay even for 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
I've had wars with
keep adding milk.
I've had wars with my house girl. Don't boil those things. As in,
how do you do it? That is something that is in almost every home.
Yes,
every African woman has to have mboga ya kienyeji that has
boiled.
Yes, and it has milk and it's stayed there. And it's really sweet and nice.
Yeah,
and African as well.
For sure.
Does it have any nutritional value?
It does, but the more you boil it, first of all, are you boiling then pouring out the water? Or are you going to use the water in the cooking process?
It depends on how some people prepare.
Exactly. If you're pouring out the water, you just poured out all the nutrients with it. Unless you're going to reuse the water to prepare the meal, then you have lost all the nutrients with it, or majority of, not all, majority of the nutrients with the water that you've thrown out. I would say even those ones that you're saying that need to be boiled, I now cook them without boiling. I cook them
it's
directly.
Not consumed in one day. I know. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where did you grow up, first of all? You know, the kind of mboga that stays for 3 weeks. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Our grandmothers used to prepare that mboga so well. But you know, that mboga that stays for so long and you keep adding milk as you boil it every day. Many people love that. But then the longer it stays, you're saying it loses its value. And if you boil mboga, it loses its value. So I'm asking, is it still... or we're just eating it for the taste? It's
probably more for the taste than for the nutritional value.
That's bad news for people.
If it has nutrients,
and you know,
it
many
has very
people
little
think
nutrients.
That's the healthiest meal you can have.
If it still has the water, in it, fine. But if you have poured out the water, you poured out all the nutrients.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much for your time. We've really learned a lot on this particular session.
Thank you.
Your final words, what do you want my viewer to remember as we bring this to a close?
So final words is... really watch what you're putting in your mouth. A lot of us are dealing with lifestyle diseases and issues that are really about what we are doing that with. So be careful about what you're putting in your mouth. And on top of that, give your body the chance to detoxify. Go through some detoxes once or twice a year for at least 3 days. And then you will see that your body will start even behaving like that well-tuned machine that it's supposed to be. You are actually not built to age, funny enough, or to get sick, right? So if you're aging very quickly or you're always sick, go into your detox, because that's the thing that will get you out of there. If you actually look at me many years, I won't tell you how old I am, many years ago, and now I actually look younger now than I looked back then. So you know, if you want to look like this, okay, not really like
and you're so much in shape. One would wonder why all this, why all this.
This is the reason why. This is it.
This is what
I did not become like this just by magic. This is what I have been doing. So this is how I manage and maintain my lifestyle and
Thank you so much, Coach. It's always good to have you on the program.
Thank you
and
so much.
And we've really learned a lot, like I've said. Thank you so much. I know wherever you are, you have captured 1 or 2, 3 things that you can try. Remember, make better decisions this year. Dieting, exercise, and cleansing your body. It's a machine, for crying out loud. Once in a while, Go on a leave, tell all the workers to go away and clean up your system. Don't eat anything if you can, and just clean up your system, even if it's just for one day. Just start with one day. If you can't, start with 6 hours. Just don't eat anything and cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. The more you do it, gradually keep adding the hours, keep adding the days, keep adding until you can get to 1 week or a month if you can. It depends. My name is Safina Ching. We take a short break. The program will be right back.